This is a different kind of airline story, and we're learning more about a story we brought you last week. So Google is offering up to $10 million to buy Spirit Airlines data now that the airline is bankrupt, and it would be used, they say, to train AI models. Now, we know this would only include the employee data, which Spirit says has been stripped of identifying information. But Michael Yoshida explains what this deal says about the value of our data.
Some have described data as the new oil, an invaluable resource that just so many companies are desperate to get their hands on. The bankruptcy of Spirit really puts a spotlight on this, with not just its planes, but also its data making headlines at auction.
Google is set to pay $10 million for decades of Spirit Airlines corporate and employee data, information it wants to help train AI systems. A court filing says the data has been stripped of anything allowing individuals to be identified.
We're finally seeing very publicly the depths that companies are going to win and fight in this AI arms race.
Arjun Bhatnagar, CEO of privacy company Cloak, says the deal highlights a long-standing practice: companies and data brokers collecting and selling information.
Looking at companies like Google, what they're doing is they're saying, how can they look at your personal information when you're interacting in the company and training AI models, AI data sets, AI agents to see how they can operate in a way that's similar to the employee that existed.
And as AI gets smarter, the data is becoming more valuable.
AI has really also supercharged the ability for information that was collected at one time to now be able to be used for a lot of other purposes.
The Google and Spirit deal doesn't include customer information, but it does highlight how far companies are willing to go to get massive amounts of useful data. But Nagar says if that concerns you, there are simple ways to limit what companies collect. Use different emails for shopping, travel, and more sensitive accounts. Regularly check what data apps are collecting and sharing, and skip sharing your phone number or use a virtual one.
As an individual, it's time to start changing your information pattern, how you share. You don't hit allow for everything you do.
And on that final point, there are a few different options for getting your own virtual phone number. That includes Google Voice, OpenPhone, RingCentral, and others. As for that Spirit and Google deal, a judge is set to decide in September whether or not to allow or deny the sale of that business data. In Washington, I'm Michael Yoshida.